Do you ever feel like your dream is way too big or so completely different from everybody else's? Let's talk about why. Hello, beautiful people. Today is going to be a video about dreams. What is new? If you don't know me already, I am Tiffany and welcome to my channel. Last month was my 9-year anniversary of being on YouTube. It's almost a whole decade. Yes, yes. If you're new here, welcome to the fam. Hit that subscribe button and like, comment, and share. Okay, starting off, it's no secret that everybody's dream is catered to every specific individual. For example, I am an artist. I like to sketch, love to make film and edit and make cinematic videos and shots. And I also dropped Tales of the Heart Volume 1. I think that was last year actually, around this time. My first kind of like cinematic video, and it was really choppy because I did it on my phone. It wasn't really planned. I just kind of like did it all in one go because I was just like, you know what? I've been sitting on big dreams that I haven't been executing, and life is so short. If you want to see Tales of the Heart, it's right here. Check it out after this video. But that was my first kind of like cinematic drop. And one thing that I've kind of learned over time talking to people and talking to strangers and people that I know, every time we get into the conversation of dreams and our future and our goals, I feel like I'm crazy for what I say and how big I dream. Like, for example, I have always dreamt of having my own art gallery, somebody who shares her art and sells it in museums and has her own museum. And this is just one of my dreams. I've talked to people who I don't know, and I've talked to my family members. And every time I talk about this dream, it's like I get this look where people are just like, what? What is she talking about? Like, I know you don't have the same dream, but you don't think that? You don't think you're gonna do something like out of the norm? Most of the time feel like I constantly hear the same kind of dream being repeated back to me. A really conventional kind of job. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Dream and make that dream happen. Think outside the box. Anything is possible, you know what I mean? Comparing dreams leads to frustration, self doubt, low self worth. It chips away at your confidence and what you can and can't do. It's like limiting yourself. And most people settle. They settle for something that's easily attainable or something that is not as challenging or something that's conventional that they've heard that they see everybody else doing. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this, again. But what good has it done anybody to settle for anything? You'll know when you're settling for something, and most people just take what's easy and go for what everybody's doing. And from my experience and what I've seen and what I've heard, most people aim for having a family by this age, getting this kind of job, working my way up the ladder. Your brain is made for AWOVE, while most people aim for XYZ. Your dreams are so special and unique. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger, somebody you don't know, and expressed your dreams to them, even if you know the person, and really just dove deep into each other's dreams and aspirations and goals in life, and really like thought about what somebody's goals and dreams are, and not in a comparative way, but in a way where it's like you're observing, reflecting on the information you're exchanging with another person, with another being, kind of like looking at it from an objective point of view. If you haven't, I really do recommend going out and just talking to a stranger, like anybody you see. It could be an old person. I recommend it being an older person. Anybody. Talk with them about your dreams and observe the kind of answers, the kind of goals that they give you back in response to you asking, what are your dreams and aspirations? What do you see for yourself in the future? Truly digging deep down. You'll be shocked to see that actually your dreams are so different from what they dream. So, to bring it all together, I'm basically saying the more you really go out and do your research is the more you realize that big dreams are not common. Most people don't dream the same dream that you're dreaming. Even if you think, sometimes your dream is just way too big and people can never conceptualize the kind of dream that you have. For me personally, I'm dreaming big. I know that if I shared this with somebody else, they would look at me like, girl, what is you on? They would think I was Delulu and I was crazy. But the real tea is that being Delulu is a Salulu, because there is no person out there who's ever made it big that did not start somewhere as delusional, that had to do something out of the norm in order to get where they are. And every dream had to start out as something that never existed. It's like when you dream of doing something big and like different from the group and from the community, from the environment, you're looked at as this anomaly, as somebody who is essentially insane and gone batshit crazy. But you are somebody who's creating something different, and it takes that one person to do something different in order for the rest of the crew and the rest of the environment to be inspired to do something different. So, sometimes you're going to have to be the first person to do it. Sometimes you're going to have to be the first person to be ridiculed or looked at sideways or doubted, whatever it may be. I mean, these things are nice, but it's what comes with being different. And sometimes, in order to make it, you're going to have to be that person who is the butt of the joke until you make it. And with that being said, we're going to have to embrace and think big by visualizing, by writing down, by making vision boards, by breaking down each goal, each dream into tangible steps and taking action slowly towards these goals. I am a firm believer, and I have talked about it in a previous video before, nothing can come to fruition until you see it in your mind's eye. You have to visualize and see something or feel something in order for it to be here. And taking big dreams and big goals and breaking them down into smaller steps makes it so much easier to do, because it seems less daunting, because it's a challenge. It's you doing something. It's a change. The brain is literally made to keep you safe. It runs on what it knows and what it's experienced from the past. It's like a little memory book. It flips back the pages and looks back and says, have I experienced this before? How did that feel? How did it work out? What happened? So the brain is always wanting to keep you safe and keep doing the same thing, because that feels comfortable. That feels like a safe space. When you start introducing new things and new ideas, it's going to feel challenging. It's going to feel scary, and it's okay. But the most important part is recognizing that's what your brain is made for. This is what it's going to do. All these excuses are going to come up, and that's okay. Recognize that and push through anyways. And that's what's really most important. You want to make your dreams as easy as possible, because they're already going to be challenging. And making it easy for yourself is going to be the best love letter you could ever write to yourself. And that's what I want to say. Write a love letter to yourself by making your dreams come true in the easiest way possible. And the only way you can make that happen, your mind is going to have to shift. You're going to have to start thinking differently. If you want to be something different, you're going to have to start thinking different. You're going to have to start thinking like that person you want to be. Does she surround herself with these people? Does she do this every single day? What does she do in the morning? What does she do in the afternoon? What is she doing at night? What does she do when no one's watching? Which it is going to happen, because there's no other choice for me. Like, what other life do I want to live besides that? I'm already living in it. It's just a matter of time. And this comes through that mindset shift, thinking differently. And in order to think differently, you need to reflect on who you are right now. You don't want to reflect too much, but you want to reflect. You want to ask questions. Now, I love asking questions. I love being an inquisitive person, because I am. I ask a lot of questions. I ask myself a lot of questions. I'm constantly asking questions to gain knowledge and to gain perspective, because knowledge is power and perspective is freedom, in my opinion. So yeah, what questions do I ask? Do you ask? Start by asking yourself what dream feels right for you. What dream feels right when society isn't down your neck telling you that you need to make money, you need to go to school, you need to do this, 401k, retirement, this, beans, greens, potatoes, you know what I mean? This is like, you know what I mean? Like, but for real, like, so many of us are realizing that we don't want this conventional American dream kind of life. We don't want that anymore. It doesn't feel right. So what feels right to you? What feels right to you might not feel right to me. And that's okay. Because every person who's ever come to me with a dream, I've always said, girl, you can do it. I've always said, yeah, why not? How about instead of your average townhouse, how about a whole plot of land? How about a business instead of working for somebody else? You know what I mean? I've always been somebody who's dreamt really big and tried to make those dreams happen and failed so many times. Like I've failed at being a YouTuber. I've been doing this for 9 years and I've been on and off and inconsistent at YouTube, but I never quit because I know I'm gonna be known. You're gonna know my name, you're gonna see me, you're gonna hear about me, you're gonna remember me. And I've never quit. But I have had moments of doubt and moments of failure, and that's okay. And you're gonna fail and you're gonna doubt yourself and you're gonna be scared. But as long as you put things into writing and you break them down into smaller bite sized goals, you can make anything happen. So I encourage you to breathe life into other people's dreams, dream bigger than what you already have dreamt, and to also comment down below a dream you have. It could be a small dream, but comment down below. I want to see what other people's dreams are. And maybe we could actually help each other make that happen. You never know. The more you talk about it, the more it comes to life. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you babies next time. Besos.